Hey there. Well, let's get into this. Jed Barker here with Best Life Mortgage. I'm a mortgage broker here in the upstate South Carolina, but I actually serve quite a few states. And I'm here today with Daniel Gropey. He is
One?
yeah, the one and only. He works with Raybrook Homes. I was blessed to come in contact with the owner of Raybrook Homes maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, Chris Johnson. And since then, we've been become friends. Daniel and I have gotten to know each other. I've visited him, and he's worked with at least two or three of my clients on
I
different
think it's two or
projects.
three now.
Yeah, different projects. One of those was a complete home renovation. One of my clients went in and bought a home that was in really rough shape, like completely rough shape in an area that would be a good place to fix up. Daniel's company went in and completely restored that building, and just huge raving fan from my client on that one. That was awesome. And then in brand new construction, I think it was one of our people that had their house burned down.
Yep.
Yeah,
Down in
completely down.
Eastleigh.
Yeah, exactly. And they needed to rebuild. So they rebuilt in their location where the house burnt down. And
Yep.
that's actually still going on right now, right?
Yeah, we're finishing that up. We just had another round of inspections and they all passed, thankfully.
Yeah.
And that home, I mean, he definitely got a home upgrade. I think for what his insurance gave him, thankfully his insurance was doing what they were supposed to and covered him well. But now he went from a small 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom home to now he's got a home above a 3-car garage that he wants
Awesome.
to host people in, and it's really a beautiful upgrade to the neighborhood and to his own personal life. I really am thankful that we were able to come in at his price range where we
Yeah.
needed, where a lot of other contractors really, we even have this on our website, laughed at him because they all told him that they could not build for lower than that price, but
Yeah.
we really worked with him where he was at and came through for him. And now he's almost got a fully done home. I think
Yeah.
we're less than a couple of weeks out from final inspections.
Oh wow, man, that's pretty fast. I don't know how fast that was, but it
Yeah.
must be. But yeah, it's pretty fast. We have 12 months we're allowed to give people on the new construction loans that we do, and I know
Yep.
that hasn't been more than six or so, right?
No, it's
Yeah.
when people hear fast, they often think cut corners, but
Yeah.
we really try to prioritize efficiency. And the difference between efficiency and just speed is doing the right thing quicker rather than the wrong thing to get done faster.
Sure.
And I mean, I think we're headed on month 4 now and we're almost done.
Yeah, a month for wow, yeah, that's super awesome. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a great person. I'm super glad you guys were able to take care of them. Now, you guys introduced me to him, which is awesome, and I think on the other one, I introduced my person to you guys. So that looks
Right.
like a good relationship there. So Daniel's role in his company, I'll say what I think it is, but he's the
Okay.
person that you'll talk to about your project, that your ideas that you have, and what you want to accomplish, and he'll help you put those together and figure out the pricing on them and what you want to use, and get that whole thing set up so you feel comfortable with it, and his team then will work with him to make it happen, like the construction. So I don't think Daniel's out there building right now, right? You're
Yep.
the setup person, right?
Yep. Not that I haven't done construction work in the past, because I think one thing that's missed is an intimate knowledge of construction for sales
Yeah.
positions. You
Yeah.
know, what makes me different than just a sales rep is that I'm able to walk you through not just the price, but also really making a educated decision on how to make your dream a reality.
Yeah.
Um, I like to think of myself as less of a salesperson and more of a dream realizer,
Mm.
which doesn't look great on a resume, so I won't put that
Dream
on my resume.
realizer, like it.
But when people come to me and ask, how do we make, go from point A to point B with either my home, my renovation, or just this idea that I have, I'm the one who comes in and says, all right, let's look at your budget. Let's look at the materials and the design. What's feasible here and how do we make it happen if it can happen? There's always the case in which, rather than sell someone on something that they can't afford and give them a product that if they could afford it wouldn't be what they wanted, I'll tell you. And that's a lot of the time, honestly, we've garnered a lot of respect and trust from our clients that don't work with us
Mm.
because of that reason.
Mm.
We'd rather do the right thing, especially because in respecting a client, part of that is definitely respecting that person and their finances,
Yeah.
which is more so your bracket. But for us, it's not taking advantage of just a fun dream. But I get to be that for those people. I get to be either the person that says yes or the person that says, let's hold off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I do like that title, Dream Realizer. I'll go ahead and remember that. I've written it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is the dream realizer. I love it, man. So Daniel's company, Raybrook, they're here in South Carolina. They serve the upstate. They might serve other states as well, but they with me and what I've done with them specifically, again, renovations and construction projects. Um, we have loans that will fit both those needs. Today, I wanted Daniel to get on and talk to me a bit about a few questions that I get sometimes from my people when I'm walking them through what do they want to do for a home purchase or what are they going to do for renovations. So he's way more of an expert in this than I am. It's like where he spends all his work hours, which is a lot of time, I would assume. And so I got a few questions I wanted to run by you today, man. And if you had any, you can take it from there on thoughts and stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. The first one I had was, a lot of people that when I get on the phone with them, a lot of either first time homeowners and such, they're considering building or buying a fixer upper.
Mhm.
And you have a lot of experience with both of those. Is there anything that they should think about that would help them make up their mind between building or just buying a home that they need to fix up? Because we did both of those together in this last 6 months.
Right. So this is something I tell my friends in direct relation to that question because most people don't even know to ask that question. For most Americans, building a home is a dream rather than something that they can do because
Yeah.
they see a fixer upper that's way more in their price range, price
Mm,
per square footage. It just matches what they need. It's in an area that they like. And they think that the negatives of that, whether it be some minor repairs, older utilities, HVAC going out, roof is 15 years old.
yep.
Those are negatives that won't necessarily, they're not the forefront of their thought process. And so when you're buying a fixer upper, the the thing that most people miss is that the cost of buying that fixer upper, yes, might be initially cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
but it always depends.
Mm,
That's where, just looking at the bottom line, because most people, the question I get all the time is, what's your price per square footage? Because
mm,
people are always considering buying or building.
yep.
And that's always a loaded question because it's totally up to you. You can build, there's obviously a minimum, but you
Mm-hmm.
can build as expensive as you want, but educating yourself on what best to use in your build process will really help the cost.
Mm,
And so going back to building versus buying a fixer upper, the thing that I see that most people miss are the long-term costs.
mm,
When building a house, you might pay, upfront $20,000 more,
mm.
$30,000 more.
Uh-huh.
But in the next 10 years, you're going to be saving almost all of that money
Sure.
in utility costs, in
Yep.
repair and maintenance, in
Yep.
unknown factors like foundational damages, roof
Mhm.
damages that you don't see. The appraiser is not perfect. They miss things a lot.
Mhm.
And also, the appraiser will simply pass things that are acceptable, that
Yep.
will break eventually.
Yep.
And so while you might be saving some upfront, it's very important to get a very detailed look at what home you're buying, if you are buying a fixer upper, and what it will actually cost to fix that home to the state that it would be a new home again, right?
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. And a lot of the time, you might be blessed in that you find a fixer upper that you pour 30 in and you get 70 out, and it's
Right.
it's a win. You've made a favorable investment.
Yep.
Other times, let's go ahead and just look at building a home because with what your dream is, what your vision is, the cost really isn't going to balance out in the end. Your pocketbook isn't going to balance, the budget's not going to work, and you're going to end up in the next 5 years spending more on repairs than you would if you had just built a new home.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so the thing that I would say to look for in building, building versus buying a fixer upper is details, 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 and a really thorough inspection. And do your due diligence, which isn't just making sure that the home is on, a good foundation. It's checking every aspect of the home, pricing it out, getting a quote from experts to see what the long terms would be, then make your decision. Don't just
Mm.
look at the bottom line price tag and go, this one's cheaper, this one's more expensive. I'm going to go with that one because that's
Yeah.
usually not how it works.
Yeah, and I actually like that a lot. Haven't thought about that as much as I should. Owning a home has a lot of carrying costs,
Yep.
like a lot of expenses, right? Just to own a home. It's a home's always just like everything that's tangible. It's always degrading and getting
Yep.
worse over time. And so, with an older home, if you renovate one thing to get in, you always have those other things that are sort of degrading. You need to fix up. But a new home, it is doing that too, but you got a lot more wear and tear to go
Right,
through the
right.
tenure, right? Kind of thing. And so that's a pretty big deal. I would say on my side, a lot of times too, I find that that choice sometimes is determined upon someone's time schedule. Like, do we have time to build as opposed to we need
Right.
to buy right now and get into a house? You can get in and renovate while you live in there. Necessarily can't move into a home that's going to be in construction for 6 to 8 months, right? That kind of thing. So that's something there. And then the financing part. Some people can finance a renovation, but maybe not a build. But that's a lot less likely now because now we have products where you can get a zero down
Right.
USDA construction loan, maybe or a 3.5% down FHA construction loan. So it's a
Hmm.
lot more likely you can do either one, depending on if you're married, what your spouse wants to do. Like for me, I always thought it'd be cool to build, but my wife wants nothing to do with it. She's like, "That's too
Really?
stressful." Yeah, too
Yeah.
stressful. I don't want anything to do with that. I would rather just buy something that someone else took all the time to design,
Yeah.
and I'll just go live in it, kind of thing. So, and I'm fine with that too. Like maybe someday in the future, but right now we're happy with where we're at. So that's cool, man. Another question I had for you that always comes up with my clients that already own a home, because we do a lot of refinancing and a lot of
Sure.
like taking money out to do other things with. And the more their home is valued, maybe the more equity they have to get out of it and stuff like that. So in your guys' opinion, what are the top renovations people should be doing right now to their homes to add value? And then what are some things that they think that maybe add a lot of value that just aren't really the bang for the buck? It's not really doing a whole lot for them on the money side.
Sure. So the top two that we see all the time that are quick and easy are kitchen renovations and bathroom renovations.
Mm,
With a minor kitchen renovation, you're looking between $10,000 and $20,000. With a bathroom renovation, you're looking about the same. If you're going really high-end bathroom and high-end kitchen, obviously those numbers are going to look different. But just to get things up to date, those are the quickest and easiest ways of really adding value to your home. I actually have some statistics, and this is from the South Carolina Statistic Reporting Bureau for 2024. So this is local information. This might not be true in California. This might not be true in Texas, but it is true here in this area, in the Southeast at least. So between bathrooms and kitchens, every dollar that you put in, and the number's the same for both of them actually, or almost. So if you put a dollar, every dollar you spend in your kitchen. So if you spend $20,000, you're looking at a 70 to 80% return on your investment, or the
mm,
ROI.
wow.
And so if you spend $20,000 updating your kitchen, new countertops, new faces, maybe not even the boxes, um, fresh coat of paint behind the backsplash, or if you don't have a backsplash, just, painting it. You're looking at getting between $35,000 and $38,000 in the next appraisal of your home, which is
Mm,
value immediately. That's equity in your home in your hands. That's either a loan that you can use to finance another project to add value. Very similar thing with bathrooms, bathroom
mm,
renovation. If you spend $10,000, getting rid of that old insert, putting in a glass door, making it more appeasing, something that looks pretty. When you walk in, you go, wow, this is something that everybody would look at and go, wow, this is really cool. This is beautiful. If you spend $10,000, practically that's going to give you $17,000 to $18,000 back in value.
mm, wow.
And people don't realize that's money. It's almost guaranteed investment. If I came to you with a more traditional, because a lot of people, think of stocks as this idea that they always want to invest in, but never know enough about. If I
Mm,
were to tell you, hey, I can take your $10,000 and in 3 weeks, you'll have $17,000. Who would give me their money? Everybody would give me that $10,000 if I could guarantee that. And so when you look at it like that way, it's a little less scary for people who want these ideas or these bathroom or kitchen remodels, which are just two of the easy ones. Those are
mm,
usually very quick, in and out, very little headache. Our project manager likes to call it short-term memory loss, and you get a lot of bang for your buck.
mm,
And if you want to stay in the home, that's just really easy ways of making it feel more like your home and being
right,
comfortable in your own space, because
right.
you don't realize how much time you spend in the kitchen or in the bathroom until it's updated. And you're like,
Wow.
wow, this is a whole new space again.
Mm, mm,
But to answer the second half of that question, I believe it was, some renovations that maybe don't get
yeah.
the investment back. So the 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 worst renovations that you could do are, and I hate to say it because in the business of making money. These are the best projects, but they are not the most financially practical projects. High-end finish projects.
Mm.
So if you're looking at between, standard renovation for flooring, you're putting in LVP or a carpet, that's going to be very affordable. You'll have lots of options, very durable. Practically, it's a beautiful floor, long-term value. But if you put in, say, Brazilian hardwood flooring into your living
Sure.
room, you might spend $25 a square foot, which is far more expensive than the average $3 a square foot for LVP. But you're only going to get about $25 per square foot in value out of that floor, which is
Mm.
almost a 0% return on that investment. While
Sure.
it may look pretty, it might look phenomenal. People walk into your home and go, wow, this is great. Or they might walk into your kitchen and see that, 14 karat gold faucet, maybe. Those investments for projects, the higher end luxury products that
Hmm.
don't have any practical improvement, but do have a, kind of a financial show off almost. I don't want to say
Sure.
show off to demean it, but
Yeah.
those investments are more so for you as the homeowner to enjoy your home, not for a financial flip. That is
Sure.
not an investment that is going to be a return. That's an
Sure.
investment of emotion and character, but not an investment of finances.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. And there's lots of things that we buy in our lifetime that aren't there for when
Right.
we lay down. Like, "Hey, if we do this, we'll get this much money back. Let's do it or
Right.
not do it." Like, when I think of a primary home, like I live in my primary home, obviously, it's where my family lives. I own the home.
Hmm.
I believe in owning my home.
Yep.
I like doing that. I don't look at my home necessarily as an investment. I look at it as a place to live for my family and raise my kids. I
Sure.
hope I hope that when I sell it, it at least keeps up with inflation and,
Yeah.
because that's what primary homes do. They keep up with the inflation in our country, and we're able to flip them and buy something else, and it's
Right.
good for us. It works in our favor, but I don't look at everything like that because, in my primary home, I say, "What's gonna benefit my family the most? What are we gonna like the most?" And sometimes we just do it because we're gonna be here for a long time, and why not do
Right.
what we wanna do, kinda thing, right? As far as that goes. So, I like that, and you guys, I'm sure you guys aren't, complaining when people wanna, put in what they like
No,
to
not
put
at
in, right?
all.
As far as that goes.
We like to make people aware, that's where the dream realizer comes in and says,
Yeah,
what project is this? If this is a home
yeah,
project and you're going to be here for 10 years, go ahead, do it.
yeah,
It's going to be great. That's not
yeah,
something that you're just financially doing to get money. If that's
sure.
your goal, I'll tell you no, don't do it. It's an awful
Yeah,
idea. And that's my
yeah, yeah,
job. It's my
yeah,
job to give you the information and to help you make the wisest decision. But
yeah.
if it is a financial project, let's look at some other options.
Yeah. Well, and a financial project, a lot of the times for sure would be, we have a lot of clients who are investors and they need to really look at their investment, like what they're
Yep.
doing. But again, primary home ownership is, in my mind at least, it's different than an investment property. It is a
It
real
absolutely
utility. It's a
is.
personal utility that has a lot of value. It's safety, security, it's memories.
Right.
It's everything that goes into owning a home. So, no, that sounds great, man, as far as that goes. Um, can we wrap this up? Maybe give us a few tips what people should be looking for to get through a project successfully when they work with a
Sure.
builder, stuff like that.
So to get through a project, if you've decided to go with, give a kitchen renovation, for instance, you start the project, you get the quote, communication is key through everything. Builders, contractors have an awful reputation for communication because they're, at the end of the day, they're just people. When working through your project, clear expectations of what you want, how you want it, what the builder can do, and what price they can do it for. That's just as important in the beginning when you get the initial quote, to read the details, read what they're quoting, see what they've seen. And if their vision doesn't line up with yours, have a follow up conversation before pursuing it. Say you get through that part, which is the initial contact, quote, contract. Through the project, though, keep in mind that the builder knows what they're doing, hopefully. We do,
Mm-hmm.
at least. We have met many builders who have messed up some projects and we've had
Yeah.
to come in and fix it. It's a little
Yep.
emergency. But
Yep.
while your project is going, remember this is not the final product until you're at the end.
Yep.
Keep a level head. Don't yell at your project manager. Don't yell at the workers for misplacing, a wood paneling piece that needs to go in the kitchen. They've got it. keep your head cool. And if you have concerns, always communicate them as quickly as you can to the person that matters, which is either myself, or communicate it to the project manager in a cordial, professional way, and they will take care of you.
Yeah.
And if you have any concerns after the project, I can't help you if it's another company, but I know at Raybrook, at least, we stand behind our work. And if there's
Okay.
something that, you're not happy with, we will try our best to come back and help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
all of that revolves around communication.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So communication's key, obviously, on that. What's the best way? Is your phone number that I used to call you the way that people would connect with you, or would it be a different way?
That is the phone
Yeah.
number.
All right. I'm just gonna share it if I can. Across the bottom of the screen. I'm gonna let it roll for a second. Oh wait, that's not you, is it? Let's do this one. Yeah, there we go.
Advertising someone else, I see.
Yeah. That's actually Ryan. You really like him. He's not in your industry. He's in a different industry. But we got Daniel Gropey here. That's his number. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the way, get a hold of him. Text, obviously, phone call is really good. He's very, very responsive getting back. As far as if you're watching this, you made it to the end here and you'd like to have a conversation with me about financing, in the social media notes below, you're probably going to see a link for a one-on-one interview. It's not so much me interviewing you, but it's you and I talking together about your goals, and maybe me being a little bit of a dream builder or whatever, for you. And then if you have something on the construction side, you need someone like with Daniel, then I can connect you over to that. But I appreciate anyone watching this today. Appreciate the people that go ahead and give this a like and a thumbs up and move it along. But any last thoughts from you, Daniel?
No, I think we covered all the bases. I wish everyone that sees this a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. And thank you for having me, Jed.
Thanks, brother. We'll go wrap up. Appreciate you.